Hi, I'm Abby, and combined with Rishabh, I am the software and hardware engineering part of the CamoSat team. The CanSat project is a project teams around the Netherlands and teams around the world compete in every year, and it's where we build a satellite to model real life missions to space or anything really in a satellite the size of a can. And we have to find a mission we can complete in this time and in this dimension. It gives a lot of freedom as to what we choose, and over the years our space teams have done many different missions, but it's important that we keep with the primary mission as well.
I'm Gonzalo, I'm on Space Pegasus. I'm the body designer and mechanic for the team, so I create the final body and I make sure that all the mechanics work, which is especially important to our secondary mission. Our primary mission is the same across all teams, so it's the same as CamoSat. Our secondary mission, however, is very different. We are planning to make a sort of rover which is able to travel long distances and deliver products to certain people.
Hi, my name is Louis. I'm working on body design for the CanSat. Now, for our secondary mission, we are looking at camouflage in nature, similar to how a gecko or a chameleon would camouflage. Now here I have made a quick prototype, which is just LED lights wrapped around a block of wood. This prototype is supposed to resemble the materials with the LEDs that we would use in the CanSat in order to generate the light and color that we would need to create the camouflage. Now, the one problem with this obviously is that in nature you wouldn't have these individual LEDs, and especially not this bright. So my job as body design right now is to look at what materials we could use to diffuse this light a bit. Now also, in nature obviously light wouldn't be perfectly smoothly diffused. It wouldn't be like you could see here with this frosted acrylic. In nature you would never see this perfect glow of even light. It would be much more rough, but it also wouldn't be these really harsh individual light sources. So next to looking at how we can diffuse light, my job is also to find a way to make it look as realistic compared to a chameleon or gecko skin. So I have a few materials here for diffusing. I have PET plastic, which is used in food packaging and toys a lot. You can see it was clear. It can be 3D printed too on my printer, and I've just sanded up one side of it in order to make it diffuse the light. Now you can see it diffuses pretty well, although it's quite rough with the sanding. And it is actually very nice and clear as well on the other side. And it's easy to work with because it can be 3D printed. It can be made into any shape. The other one is a PLA plastic. This is another common 3D printed plastic. This one actually also does a really good job of diffusing light, even though I only have a small strip here. The only thing with this is that it's quite opaque, so it adds a very white kind of blend to the light. And then here I have another piece of acrylic, but it's only frosted on one side. The other one was frosted on both sides, and you can see that there is quite a difference if we compare it to the other one. This one ends up making it much more even at a much closer distance. Now besides this, obviously the light wouldn't be this perfectly diffused in nature. So my job as well is to look at these materials and how we can use them to make a skin around the CanSat that resembles a gecko's or a chameleon skin. So we would break these up into individual parts and have them have a rougher texture so that they would refract the light in more different directions. So that it's not this nice and perfectly even mush, but that it's a bit more of a harsh light. but that you also don't have these individual lights. So it has to be a bit of an in-between that I'm looking for. I'm excited to build a prototype with the team doing electronics so that we can really get a CANSAT going.
For prototyping, me and Rishabh decided to make a sample of 2 different pixels that could like switch lights, that we could set the color of manually, so that when we take image input, we can change the color of the pixels, and this would better help camouflage the CANSAT.
Hey, I'm Akshita, and for the CAMSAT group, I'm basically the recovery system. So that means my job is making sure that the CAMSAT lands safely and is still able to function within like the secondary mission, the primary mission. So one of the prototypes that I've been working on is a helicopter leaf that resembles or is able to float like the maple leaves or the helicopter leaves we see in nature. Another prototype that I'm currently working on, but not sure, this is one that's more final, is the down line leaf.